They're logical women that can make sound decisions, but most cannot. And the unfortunate thing is that they're in powerful positions. They're running businesses and things like that. And the one thing I know for sure, without a doubt, women cannot handle power. It's not in them to handle power in the right way. They don't know what to do with it. And then secondly, it's not real power anyway. Power that the world gives you is not power. It's all ego building. Real and true power comes from God. And God is the one that gave man the power and the authority over the wife and to spiritually guide the world in the right way to go. And I realize that men made mistakes in the past, but most men did not make mistakes in the past. And when men were in charge, things were tougher, they were more solid. And it's not like that anymore. And the one thing I realized that the world has done to women have been degraded. Women are now degraded. They have no shame. There was a woman from Georgetown University. I know you heard about this story. She testified before a committee and about condoms and birth control and all that kind of stuff. And in her testimony, she said that women need, and I'm paraphrasing because I don't have all her exact words. She said women need to be able to get free birth control, free condoms and things like that. She said that it's not right that a woman can't get it, especially if they're in college and stuff like that. And she said that women in colleges spend up to $3,000 on birth control and condoms and things like that. A person, per person. This woman's sitting there testifying about how much all the sex they're having and all that kind of stuff. And it's really about maintaining the freedom to kill babies in the womb. It's about that, because that's how this whole thing got started. The government trying to force the Christian community, the Catholic Church, to pass out morning after pill and all that. So it's really about that. But this woman's sitting there testifying about how much sex they're having out of wedlock, and all these women into all this stuff with no shame. Women would not have done that in the good old days. There would have been a sense of shame about it. But she had no shame about it. I'm like, wow. First of all, she's presented herself. Rush Limbaugh called her a slut. And she didn't realize that she looked like a slut sitting there making that type of confessing that type of thing. And I'm thinking, wow, what happened to women that this is okay for them to exploit themselves in that way? How did we get to a point where women think we should pay for them to have sex? How did we get to a point they want to force us to buy them birth control? Was I sleeping when this was happening? I didn't see this coming. It blows my mind. Most of the time you're too embarrassed to let people know you even use those things. But how did we get to a point now where these women are fighting to make us pay for that? They want to have sex out of wedlock, they want to have abortions, they want to do this and that, and they want us to pay for it. I haven't heard men asking someone to pay for what they use. You know what I mean? It's insane, and they use one word to manipulate us. They say, the woman has a right to do it. It's about women. And when you say that word, woman or women, you have to shut up then at that point. Okay, it's the woman. You know what I'm saying? And when I saw that testimony, it absolutely blew my mind that we had got to this point. There is a major discussion in this country about that. And no one is rebuking, well, some people are rebuking it, but no one is saying, where's your shame, woman? Why are you embarrassed? What happened to you? And it's unfortunate that women are allowed, that men are so weak, they've been so intimidated, that they allow these women to just run wild and screw up everything, including their souls and their children. And if you speak up about it, Satan got it set up through the women that you're going to be punished in some kind of way. This is why God said seek first the kingdom of God and his right way, and all be added. Don't worry about what you're going to wear, what you're going to eat, where you're going to live, who your friend is. Or, you got to be caring about the truth more than anything else, and he'll take care of you. Because God knew that the world will have control over these things, and it used it to intimidate you because they don't have good on their side. So they have to use physical things to control you. And if you're not of God, you will allow yourself to be controlled with physical things, the fear of losing something materially, a friend or a family member or a house or a car or a job. And it's happening because Christians are not connected to truth. Not all, but most are not connected to God. They're only Christians in namesake. And the fact that these generation of young girls are now into that, they think it's right, they don't even know it as being wrong. We're going to have hell to pay in America. And the parents are not going to get away with this. You're going to suffer for allowing your children to be turned over to the world like this. Don't think you're going to get away with it. You won't. And nothing good is going to come out of this. Another big mistake is and I think I may have hit on this already, is to put women in powerful position, these businesses and jobs, because they can't handle stress, they can't handle anything. You walk up to them with an issue, they freak out right away, especially if they can't get the problem resolved right away. I've seen it happen at the airports and banks and the post office. When the issue go wrong, they go nuts. They get mad, they get upset, just like that. They have no patience because it's not in their nature. They don't have love. They don't have love. And the women who know that I'm right, you got to speak up about this too. You really got to start telling the truth about it. You're going to have to stand alone in it because you're not going to find a whole bunch of folks who are going to agree with you, but God is with you. He is with you. Satan is having his way, and the way things are going, it's going to all end in destruction because it's not like good is happening. Evil is happening. You see what evil do to you when you don't have, when you're just allowed to do what it wants. This is bad, folks, what's happening. And so many people on the side of good are being intimidated. I think that one of the greatest mistakes that America made was to allow women the opportunity to vote. We should have never turned that over to women. Her eyebrow went like this. It was a big mistake. And I'll get you your agreements and disagreements in a minute. And right now, 50% of the voting population are women. Did you know that? Women. There are more women out there voting than men now because there are more women than men. And these women are voting in the wrong people. They're voting in people who are evil, who agrees with them, who are going to take us down this pathway of destruction. And this probably was the reason that they didn't allow women to vote when men were men. Because men in the good old days understood the nature of the woman. They were not afraid.
So last night he used Hims. Honestly,